No more pigeon talk. Welcome, everyone, to the Completely Unnecessary Podcast for Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. We're getting into the festive season. That's Ian Ferguson. I'm Pat Contry. On the show today, we'll be discussing an Atari Age topic that's fairly important, a follow-up on the WADA activities from Carl Jobst. We'll also be discussing a Patreon poll topic. We'll do voicemails. We discuss pigeons and North American wildlife on the exclusive Patreon podcast, patreon.com/CU podcast. So many species not native to North America that will shock you. We should do a video like
shocking.
If we did a video like that, like an edutainment video, it would get like 100,000 views.
Yes.
The 9 species that were not native to North America will shock you.
Yeah. So check that out if you want to be shocked. Shocked and appalled.
What else did you do this weekend, Ian, besides read about pigeons?
So back is still shitty, leaving me kind of not being able to do much. So I played video games. Played more Halo Infinite. I played a little Halo Infinite with our buddy Skylar.
Oh, okay.
I am getting ever so slowly better at Halo Infinite. My kill death ratio is now a solid 1-2.
Oh, okay. That's a 33% increase.
Yep.
I believe.
So I'm doing pretty good on that.
1-2 is better than 1-3.
Hell, I had a 6 kills, 8 deaths round of capture the flag last night.
Almost 1-1.
And I captured a flag, so I actually did something for my team.
You returned the flag, or you just touched it?
No, I returned a flag to my base, and I killed a bunch of people holding flags.
Were you better defender and capture the flag? That's the one mode that I never really got into as much on on Unreal Tournament. It's like I liked it, but I never knew if I should be a better defender or runner.
I love capture the flag,
midfield player or whatever.
I end up doing okay with it. I loved playing actual capture the flag as a kid. That was always.
We never actually played capture flags. We played Manhunt.
Yeah,
which is like. Half of it's like related to it a little bit because you capture people.
Yeah, no, it's the same sort of shit.
You have like jails and stuff.
Yeah,
but no actual flag. There's not an actual flag.
It's a childhood game of sneaking.
Of sneaking.
So
you actually had 2 flags.
Yeah.
And then it was just tagged. If you tagged them, they were out. Is that what happened?
It was, yeah. And then we usually had them like in a backyard, and we played it throughout the whole street.
And then there must have been, to be fair, wow, the car's coming. That's fun. There must have been like. You can't get within a certain area of the flags, and it's not fair if you're on top of it. So you had to like,
I don't remember
like a safety zone,
probably.
And there was like a jail for each team.
Well, there was definitely jail. I feel like there was probably a lot of arguments over capture.
Oh, I touched it. I did.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3 manhunt. No, it was 1-2.
So I did that, and then I played Phantom Abyss, which is a game I've been interested in. It's early access. I don't support a lot of early access stuff unless it's a developer that I already know or it's an idea that I'm really into. But Phantom Abyss is like basically you get to be an Indiana Jones type person and you have to get through a randomly generated temple full of booby traps.
Booby traps.
Yeah.
That's what you said, booby traps.
Booby traps. And yeah, it's a good time. So that's what I did. What did you do besides hanging out with Frank?
Cornish game hens at Frank's.
Yep. Yeah.
For the first time ever. I think we had Cornish game hens one time before. It's just so random. He had them frozen. Hey, Patrick,
I'm going to defrost some Cornish game hens.
Well, he gave me a choice. He said, I can defrost some steaks. I don't want a frozen steak defrosted. Sorry, Frank. That doesn't cook as well. But Cornish game hens was fine. There's not a lot of meat on a Cornish game hen. There's not a lot.
No.
It's almost like an appetizer. So we were so hungry, we ordered pizza afterwards. And it's like, we had two meals, basically.
Did you see me up on the 2 wheels?
Twins reference? Wow, that's a deep cut. I saw that in theaters, Ian, at the Amboy Cinemas. Where they're playing ATB.
I quote that.
ATB.
I've seen that movie exactly once in my life, and I have quoted that line for 20 some odd years, or if not longer. I cannot get it out of my head.
There's some heart to that movie. There's some heart to it.
Yeah.
There's some violence too. The tone's all over the place.
I remember that. I remember the tone being all over the place as a kid, which is why I've never watched it again, because I thought it was just going to be like a weird comedy movie. But it's
violence and murder
Yeah.
and comedy between DeVito. That was the height of Schwarzenegger's powers.
And 2 wheels. Just see me up on the 2 wheels.
That was 88, that was.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Or 88 or 89. Because I remember one year going to like...
I watched it in the mid-90s.
There was... it was always on WPIX on Sunday afternoons. And the guy did his own little jingle that I still know the words to because I'm a crazy person from the commercials. But like it was like that. It was like one of these summers where we went like every other week to the movies. My father would take me to Amboy Cinemas because this is before all the big multiplexes. Most in your town had like 2 movies at most, maybe 3. It was like hard. There was not a lot of multiplexes in Jersey, but that was a multiplex. They had like all the movies. They had like 15 to 20 movies. Everything that was out.
Right.
They had. So like it was 1 year. Maybe it was Twins 89. Ian, can you look that up? Twins.
I'm gonna look it up. Well, you're looking it up.
Release date. It was 88. Okay, so it was 88. But there was it was December 88. That doesn't sound right. December doesn't sound right for that. I'm not trusting Wikipedia. I remember seeing that in the summer. I don't remember seeing that unless we saw it the next year, because there was like 1 year where we saw like Batman, and then the next week Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, and it was like one banger after the other in the summer. That's what we saw. I don't remember that being a December release, but I did see that in the theater. I do remember that. Anyway, all right. So you like Twins? You gotta get that on Blu-ray. You gotta get the. I would love to see a commentary track with DeVito and Arnold.
Man, DeVito was like 45 in that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
So that means he's like 70 now?
Yeah, he's old.
I just saw the premiere of It's Always Sunny.
44 was when he's 77.
Wow. He's still going on It's Always Sunny. It's been on for 15, 16 years.
He recently wrote a comic too, Vonnie bought it. He did like a little short in one of it's one of those like comics that comes out every once in a while. It's like DC Villains, I think it's called, and like there's short stories in there.
Okay.
And he did a short story in there about Catwoman.
Okay.
Yeah.
A national treasure, Mr. Danny DeVito.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
He always looked like he was 45 forever or 50 years old for like 20 years. It's Always Sunny. I saw the season premiere. I guess I took a year off. A lot of these shows took a year off because of the pandemic.
Makes sense.
They came back, and the first show was almost like showed how the gang was involved with like some of the stuff that happened, like and end up the resurrection at the January 6th insurrection, not the resurrection. Some people thought it was probably resurrection, and then like the Danny DeVito character was responsible for like Giuliani's hair dye and things like that. It was goofy. It was like it's just like a recap, catch up episode of the past, sort of like year and a half with the pandemic. It's still a strong show. It's still going strong. It's so funny. It was like that show's like, yeah. If a show is on now that was still on when I was in New Jersey, it's been on a long time.
Right.
It's been on a long freaking time. And I've been catching up with XFiles. Season 5's been a struggle. I think that's when the show really started to take a tail dive. Because season 5, I think they were working on the movie. Maybe Chris Carter. There's only 20 episodes of season 5, so there probably was a shortened season. Man, you can tell. Like, there's some really poor episodes in season 5 that the previous seasons there weren't as many. So I think, if you're gonna watch X-Files out there, season 1 through 3, I think you're good. And then some of the season, then at that point, it's just picking out the good episodes. Like there's an awesome episode, season 6 or 7, takes place in San Diego, where they go to like the gated community. It's a classic episode. It's a gated community, but there's a monster that's like killing people. They don't abide to like the CCNRs or the HOA rules, basically the HOA rules, like the neighborhood association. It's a great episode. They basically go in and undercover as a couple. It takes place in San Diego. I probably would recognize the neighborhood if I looked sort of closer on it. But it's a great show. See the news about Sony, Ian?
I did. Sony is introducing a 3-tiered plan.
Of what? For snacks?
For
subscription
basically
service?
replacing PS Now and PlayStation Plus. The specifics are not out yet, but people are thinking this is going to be similar to the Nintendo plan, where because they're saying that they're going to basically combine them and they're going to start offering access to PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 games via a service.
And PSP, according to this article.
PSP, really? And wow, okay. And probably doing that this spring. I can understand they're going to keep the PS Plus name. They're going to get rid of the PS Now name. I think that makes a lot of sense because PS Now is not nearly as well known, and I don't think it was ever looked at as being a particularly fantastic service. On the PS4, for instance, only the PS4 games can be downloaded. Everything else needs to be streamed, which is not an ideal way to play this stuff. So I'm hoping that I don't know how they're going to work in the PS2, PS1. I don't know if they're going to wrap them in emulators or what. If the PS5 can handle that more naturally. But I really hope they do include an option for downloading the games and playing them because I think that's what you need to make the service take off. That's what Microsoft Game Pass does.
You mean downloading versus cloud?
Yeah, downloading versus streaming.
So this is what you get. Here's the tiers according to IGN. The first is the same benefits as PlayStation Plus, which is required for online gaming and comes with some free games each month. What is that per year? Like $20, $30? What was that?
It's $60 a year, 2 game. I think it's usually 2 free games a month. One of them is usually bigger. One of them is usually smaller.
So the lower tier 60 a year, okay. A little more spendier than Nintendo's options, but okay.
Well, that's what I was trying to say during the whole Nintendo thing. I don't like what Nintendo did, but when you look at Microsoft, and it might be 50. Yeah, it might be 50 a year. But still, Microsoft, Xbox Live Gold, and PS Now are not cheap.
The second tier offers the gaming catalog like Game Pass. And then the third tier, you're going to get extended demos, game streaming, and then you get your PS1, PS2, and PS3 games and PSP. So they're probably going to price it where most people either get the first tier or the third. They're going to do the second tier. It's like, who the fuck cares? I might as well spend $10 more.
The second tier exists to push people to the third tier.
It's the upsell because you get the Game Pass. You want the Game Pass or their version of the Game Pass, which is a newer game library, and you get all the back catalog. That's probably what this is going to appeal to. But of course, it's going to come down to what the hell is going to get in that library of games.
Right. I don't like the tiers option. I think Xbox or Microsoft Game Pass technically has a tier, 2 tiers, but as far as I can tell, it pushes you towards at least on PC, I'm not sure that you can even access the lower tier. There seems to be there's Game Pass / Game Pass Ultimate. Okay. Ultimate includes some EA games is basically what I can tell.
Okay.
$14.99 a month. We'll see what they want to do per year here for this. The access, if they put a good amount of them, access to PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games, I think is going to be a big deal for people, but price has to be appropriate, and they can't be streaming games. They've got to be something you can download and play accurately with no lag to be worth that price.
The comparison, Xbox Game Pass is $10 a month.
Okay, 15 for the Ultimate.
15 for the Ultimate. So Pat math, that's what is that? 140 a year? What the hell is 12 times 15? Jesus Christ, I can't do the math in my head. What's 160?
Yeah.
180?
No, it's 80.
180.
It's 80 every 6 months, 160 for a year.
That's okay. So it's going to be probably in that neighborhood probably to compete.
Right. And I mean, I feel like Microsoft Game Pass is a pretty good deal from what I'm looking at.
It's 180, 15 times 12. Maybe you get a discount if you get it all at once.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Pat math was right for once. All right.
It's 90 plus 90, not 80 plus 80.
Okay, great. What else is going on here?
I don't know, Pat. You tell me. Sony VP was fired. This
speaking of Sony,
this was directed at me, and I have not paid a whole lot of attention to it, but I did see that he was caught in a fucking pedophile sting. So that's
YouTube video.
That's pretty great that they've fucking got his ass off the street. A Sony senior vice president who worked on the PlayStation Network has been terminated from his job for getting caught up in an amateur pedophilia sting video.
I'm sure Sony was like, "This is great timing, dude."
Yeah, wonderful. George Kakiopo was allegedly trying to arrange a meeting with a person claiming to be a 15-year-old boy, according to a video posted December 3rd by the YouTube channel People vs. Preds. Cassiopo had been a senior vice president of engineering at Sony for the past 8 years, according to his LinkedIn profile. He has been fired after allegedly appearing in the video. We are aware of the situation, and the employee in question has been terminated from Sony. Gross.
Wait, did he appear? Did he allegedly appear in the video? Or that's him in the video. I guess it's alleged that that's him. They got to be careful with the terminology. It's alleged that he was meeting a 15-year-old boy, but he's in the video. Like you see him in the video.
Yeah.
So there you go. Cameraman walked down the street at night toward a house. Person appears. He was wearing a PS5 shirt. Like on top of it. Like you can't make it up. You can't. He's wearing his employer's shirt while he's about to allegedly engage in an illegal activity.
That's awful.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus.
Oh, this happened in San Diego.
Oh God. Oh, there you go. All right. Game Awards, Ian. It's happening. We might talk about it next week. We don't want to.
This is fucking bullshit. So, Game Awards basically came out and they said, and there's been some updates since, but said that they weren't going to take a side on the whole Activision Blizzard sexual harassment case, and they were going to focus on the reveals. I guess. We're at a point with this Activision Blizzard thing that Sony has made a statement, non-statement, but a statement. Microsoft has, Nintendo has. The companies that fucking play these games on their systems have come out and made statements. And this mealy-mouthed, fucking spineless, no-balls fucking bullshit has just got to stop. You can say something and then still focus on games.
You can acknowledge that it's happening, and it's
right. And I'm at this point where, and I'm guilty of this, clear the fucking air right now. I've said in the past before that when things happen at these sorts of places, a lot of times there will be employees who say, hey, don't feel like you got to boycott it or do something, et cetera, et cetera. Just so you know. They usually say these things to other streamers, people who use these games for business. But we're at the point now where these people have to start losing something. They have to realize that their market share is in jeopardy, their money is in jeopardy. This shit is bullshit and it can't happen. There needs to be an active reason for them to change, and they will only change if they lose money.
You had a follow-up, Jeff, on Twitter on the 3rd. So he's followed up and said, because of the criticism, the Game Awards is a time of celebration for this industry, the biggest form of entertainment in the world. There's no place for abuse, harassment, or predatory practices in any company or any community. I also realize we have a big platform which can accelerate and inspire change. We are committed to that, but we all need to work together to build a better and more inclusive environment so everyone feels safe to build the world's best games.
Fuck off, Jeff. I said that in a tweet that it's hard to walk back such a glaring statement. Well, once you've said it, you've already said you don't care. So walking it back, this fucking milquetoast wait and see attitude. We're going to wait and see. Well, you did wait and see. And now what happens is you're making a statement in support of these people, but you look like a fucking chump because you didn't just come out and say it in the first place.
Jeff Keighley is the video game equivalent to Roger Goodell of the NFL. He is a mouthpiece basically hired by the game companies. Right. The Video Game Awards exist because the game companies pay for it. They're on the board. There's an Activision, at least one Activision guy on the board, whatever the fuck the Game Awards team that puts this together. They're not going to eat their own, unfortunately. That's all at this point. At this point, the Game Awards, I mean, it's beyond cliche. It's a marketing show. The awards mean absolutely
and they never
nothing.
I'm not like, it's not that I'm upset.
Nothing.
It's not that I'm necessarily upset that the game, I never watched the fucking Game Awards.
I stopped watching like 4 years ago. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I'm upset by how they chose to handle this, but I'm not upset that, I'm not like, this isn't like, oh, wow, the wool's been pulled from my eyes. No, I know the Game Awards are bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate this. And this is the same guy who did the Mountain Dew and Doritos thing, the Doritos Gate. They call him the Doritos Pope.
That was like 7 years ago.
He is a commercial product.
Yes. I don't know if at this point,
Got to stop being surprised that these people let you down.
I don't know. I'm sure he might be a nice fellow. I don't know anything he does besides this award show at this point. I don't know anything else he's involved in besides this. He can make most of his salary just doing this award show. I have no idea. So like at this point, like I said, he's like Roger Goodell. You're the commissioner hired by the owners. You have the owner's interest at heart. He has the video game company's interest at heart. That's the bottom line.
Video game industry has this problem where they look at everyone as friends. Everyone's my friend. I think there's a lot of parasocial relationships.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's like any
obviously.
other thing.
And it's people don't really. Yeah, I didn't. I'm angry at how they handled it. I also didn't have a lot of sympathy for people who thought this was a surprise because this is just how this bullshit is always going to be. I wish it was different, but it's not.
And award shows in general are garbage. They're hot garbage. I figured that out, that they're all circle jerks, and just honestly, a lot of people probably just do it just to build up those relationships they have with people, and it's like almost like an insider event. Yeah, that's all they probably are. Yeah, we can drink and have fun and we can slap each other on the back, but it's probably just a chance to just have in-person relationships and meetings with people and things like that. I stopped watching the Oscars like 5 years ago. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm watching these people that are millionaires get these awards, and it's just like they're all just congratulating each other, and it's a 4.5 hour show. And what the hell am I doing? This is insane to do this. Video games, and it's not just their fault. They're just reacting to the People will watch it on Twitch. They'll watch it on YouTube Live. They'll talk about it. It's all the consumers that get, oh my God, my game's going to win Game of the Year. Who the fuck cares if it wins Game of the Year or not? Do you like the game? Yes or no?
Right.
Do you enjoy it? Why do you need the validation of others to like your art or entertainment? That's what it comes back to. Why do you need others to validate what you like? So, you shouldn't have to.
All I'm going to say is don't support this bullshit. If it pissed you off like it pissed me off, don't support it and actually don't support it. And
don't watch it.
I think that's where we're getting with this. People want to say something, but they don't want to take any action. And like I said, I've been guilty of that. If you are pissed off at Activision Blizzard, don't buy the games. They're never going to learn unless you speak with their wallet. If you don't like the Game Awards, if this pisses you off, don't watch it. It's a fucking backslapping party. No one needs it. Tell it to fuck off. Give it low views, and maybe it will change. But stop. So many people, I know, I hate to be this way, but I saw a lot of people angry on Twitter that 2 days after we're already talking about the Game Awards again. Nothing changes if you just get angry for 5 minutes and don't do anything. Don't talk about it. Don't watch it. Don't support it.
And for people to say, well, I want to see whatever, the Elden Rings reveal, guess what? It'll be up on YouTube like right after.
Go to IGN
online.
or Kotaku.
Go to YouTube and just watch it. It'll be on.
I almost said Joystick.
Joystick. Oh, rest in peace, Joystick.
One up. Any of these websites that were around when I actually paid attention to websites.
Joystick. Or Joystick.
Yeah.
They'll be online.
Tell them to fucking kick rocks.
And I did see people that were invited. I think I saw one person say like, yeah, I'm not coming unless this is like addressed in some way.
Like I said, that's the easy way to do it. And that's why I was pissed off and I wasn't going to accept any walkbacks. We're not going to say is how they feel the water. And then they decide, no, have the fucking balls to say something without waiting to see if it's going to go in your favor or against your favor.
Yeah. It's a political thing.
You fucking pieces of shit.
Well, like I said, Activision helps put this show together.
All right, I'm done. I'm angry.
You're angry? Sorry. Don't be mad at Jeff Keighley.
Me.
Well, you won't be mad going to ultimatetender.com.
No.
There's lots to put a smile on your face.
Good one.
You got T-shirts, limited T-shirts.
Simple, effective.
You got the RBI baseball stickers that can brighten Ian's laptop. You can fit one now, Ian, on your new laptop. Yeah. You got the enamel pins. Perfect stocking stuffer. You can stock about 50 of those in one stocking right there. And, of course, they make a great gift. They're heavy. The Ultimate NES and Super Nintendo guidebooks at ultimatenintendo.com. There's also a sale, cameo.com/Pat Country. If you book on the website, it's 25% off this week. I think it's a promotion they're doing throughout the platform there. So you can book me on Cameo. There was a Gift of the Magi thing happening, Ian. I swear to God, a couple both booked me for the other person for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, you told me that.
And it wasn't planned. I'm like, look at that. Isn't that a great gift?
That's crazy.
Hopefully they didn't have to sell something to get then it's really a gift to the Magi.
Right.
Selling something to get the gift to the person. And I'm on Twitch every Wednesday. Ian loves it. He shows up once every 51 weeks. Twitch.tv/CountryCode. That might be an accurate percentage. Like it's like 1.8%
might be, no.
or something like that. You see the portable Saturn, Ian?
Yeah, this is neat. This was brought to my attention by my pal Steve Lynn.
He's my pal too.
Unbelievable work by TZMWX to create a portable Sega Saturn. This is a tweet by, among other things, cutting the board in half and reconnecting everything by hand. This is at Shape Mods. You can go to bitbuilt.net to find it.
Snapped it in half like a cracker.
So there's a size comparison. It's white. It looks to be a little bit bigger than a Game Gear.
Okay.
Looks to be a little bit bigger than a Game Gear. I don't know a whole lot about this. I can just tell you that it is awfully impressive. There is a picture of the board being cut in half, and it looks like a lot of work was done to reconnect everything. That is a shitload of wires.
No wires.
Always impressed by these sorts of projects.
And I guess to load the games, they use the what's the thing that costs $200?
An ODE, an optical drive emulator?
Yeah, optical drive emulator.
That makes sense.
That makes more sense.
Yep. There. Probably saves on battery life quite a bit, too.
I would imagine, yes. Yeah. If you had a disc thing come out the side to load it, or just there's no room to put a CD in there. That's fantastic. What did you say it was from? Bitbuilt.net.
Bitbuilt.net in the forums.
Say that 3 times fast. That's funny. A gamer. It's got to be a gamer. A gamer has 2,700 Burger King, Sneak King, 360 games.
Yeah.
So this comes from Comic Book Resource, CBR.com. We're starting to pick up on their video game news the past few months. We're talking about it more. One collector obtains as many copies of the Xbox 360 Burger King tie-in Sneak King as he can, gathering a whopper of a niche collection. Wink! This is a user No Mercy Video on Reddit. He claims, although the post came from Reddit, from No Mercy Video, claims that the collector managed to obtain 2,706 physical copies. No, that's the user. Okay. Well, the picture can't accurately be counted. There's a noticeably large stack of discs, which reached the shoulders of the owner. The collector has even documented some parts of their quest to obtain as many copies as they can, uploading some of their journey to the YouTube channel Sneak Kings with a Z. Okay, that's incredible. That's it's two people. It's let's see, one person the part. Leroy Patterson is a stuntman pro wrestler, and Bobby Ramos is a wrestler as well as a voice actor. So this is what I'm going to say about the Sneak King, or the other two games. What's the little motorbike game, and what's the third one? I always forget. The
There's bumpers, big bumping.
Okay,
big bumping.
There was a point in time, maybe still, where I go to the swap meet and see a box of these three games sealed. You would see just dozens of them. I guess, like they shipped them out to all the Burger Kings, and they had so many left over that, what do we do with them? They just gave them away to employees, or they're worthless. They made millions of these things.
Yeah, I mean, I had at Luno at one point, I think someone came in and they called us up and asked if we bought video games. And we were like, yeah, of course we do. And they're like, do you buy a lot of them? And we're like, oh, sure. Jesus, okay. He's like, I got a lot of sealed stuff. And normally we don't whatever. We're like, sure. Dude rolls in, looks like he's never played a video game in his life. Just some flea market guy. Puts him down on the counter and obviously looks proud of himself. I'm like, it's all Burger King games. I'm like, these aren't worth anything. He's like, nothing?
They gave these away for dirt. I don't know what they cost at the time, like $3.
It was like $2.99 with a meal or something.
Yeah.
They weren't expensive to begin with. And they just had
shovelware.
Yeah. And they just had too many of them. And the guy looked at me and goes, I don't want this box. And I'm like, I don't really want it either. And he's like, $5. And I'm not kidding. There was probably 60 copies of these games in there. And we were like, sure. And we put them in our bargain bin for $1 a piece and eventually sold them all. But yeah, so they're everywhere.
I did a preliminary search on eBay, Ian, for these. Mm-hmm. 2 different sellers that have tons of these that you can get 3 for $7. Rise by Christmas, by the way, all 3, which is Sneak King, Pocket Bike Racer, and then what's the third one? Big Bumpin'. They've sold at least 188. This one seller of the set of 3. They're sealed, by the way, new.
Oh yeah.
The second seller, I haven't checked more on this. The second seller has sold 445 sets of them sealed.
Wow. For how much?
$8 for this.
$8.
But free shipping. So you want to go for that one? This is someone in Tulare, California. $8 for all 3 sealed, and they've sold 445 sets. So just imagine how many. This is the Spider-Man 2600 360.
Oh yeah.
They're probably there's no. This is like the Cheetah Man 2, but it's not real. It'd be harder to find one actually opened than a sealed one of these.
Sure, I could see that.
What was this, 2005? When did they do this? 2007, around there? That's
I
funny.
think that was before yeah.
It came out in 2005, right? Late 2005 or 2006?
Late 2006, but they're playable on an original Xbox. So I think it might have been 2005, 2006.
What's playable on the original Xbox? These 360 games are?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They're not actually 360 games.
They're
Xbox.
forward compatible?
They're not. They're Xbox games.
Really?
So the 360 is just backwards compatibly playing an Xbox game.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's incredible, Ian. That's dropping some knowledge. When we do video game years 2007, you can bring that up. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. What else is going on here? Is that it for the intro?
Yeah, that's it. That's the intro, man.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're on YouTube, remember, we got an audio podcast. We don't remind you often, but you help us out. You listen to audio podcasts, on Anchor.
Pump the numbers. Pump the numbers.
Anchor.fm/the CU podcast.
That's right.